The meeting to order for Wednesday, February the 4th, 2026. First off, we're going to have a Stephen Hill presentation. Ms. Heinen?
Yes, hey everybody. I wanted to bring Stephen Hill in again. I had Mr. Ostelet as well, our Assistant Superintendent, and I just wanted to give y'all a brief update. We do have Stephen here with Speak Sobriety for the third year in a row, thanks to you guys trusting me with some of these opioid abatement settlement funds. And so he's here to just speak to some of the successes that he's seeing this year and overall successes over the year. And then I brought Mr. Ostelet in just to sort of wrap up with what he's seeing in terms of the after effects in the schools once Stephen leaves, and how he still is such a good support within a lot of the preventative measures that we're taking to try to avoid people ever using any of these substances, including alcohol, before they're getting to adulthood. So getting this education is so important because we're targeting those junior high and high school levels. We have DARE that comes in at the elementary level, but we were really lacking something at the junior high and high school level, which is exactly where Stephen came in with his programming and Speak Sobriety. So I'm going to turn it over to Stephen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Heinen. Good to see everyone again. This is my third year in a row coming to the parish, and with support from the school district and from Lauren Heinen, things have been going very well there. Now, what's interesting about doing it the way that we get to do it here is I get to see them at all different stages. I see them for the first time. It's usually like a bigger assembly presentation where I do most of the talking, where I'm sharing my story, I'm sharing my experiences, and giving them some practical prevention advice as well, things to strengthen their mental well-being, things of that nature as well. But what's the most important part to me is what happens after the assembly, after the presentation, because it evokes a certain response. They think about their own lives and things that they're going through and things that they're seeing, and it really pushes them to then go and ask for help. So like today, I went to Welsh Oak in the morning, and I spoke with the 7th grade students for the first time, because that's the youngest that we go in terms of starting with this message. And then it was, out of the 3 years of me doing this, it was the most emotional response that we've seen from the students. So Mr. Humble, the principal, did something that I really haven't seen another principal do before. Is before he opened it up, I mean, he knows his students pretty well, and he knows that several of them have been personally impacted by this in one way or another. And so he said, if at any point this touches a nerve for you, this is something that's very personal, if you want to just take a step out, that's okay. And they had one of the school counselors there as well. And I think that just gave them the opportunity to feel and to be real with it. And some of them did have an emotional response from it. But what happened is it caused them to then come and seek help afterwards and to talk about some of the things that they're going through. In fact, a few of the students went and saw the newer counselor, Jennifer Matson, and asked if they could start a group just to have students in the school who've been personally impacted by addiction in one way or another, so that they don't actually feel alone with each other. So like, these are the type of things that really can help somebody cope with some of the things, because what I see is young people, they're born into this sometimes. When you're in 7th grade, you can't decide where you're going home to or what you're faced with. These are circumstances that are out of their control. But we want to give them some agency and some power to make these good choices for themselves, and that's what we're doing. We talk about breaking the cycle of addiction. Your DNA is not your destiny. Just because you grow up in it doesn't mean that you have to fall into it yourselves. Plus, we're also talking to those kids who, in my opinion, are the most overlooked negative influence in a high school. It's not the kid who comes to school under the influence. It's not the kid who doesn't have support at home. It's the kid who's a captain of a sports team. He's a member of student council. He has a good family life. He has a lot of friends, but he also drinks alcohol on the weekends. He also maybe smokes a little bit sometimes, and it's not manifesting itself as a major problem. To me, that's the most overlooked negative influence in a school, because you come in 8th grade to 9th grade, and you look up to these older kids, and you want to be like them, and you want to go to these parties, you want to take part in it. And maybe that senior never develops a problem, but influences some other kid who's built a little bit differently and does develop a problem. So When I got to go to Welsh High School on Monday, it was a follow-up program where they had already seen me speak, so I met with them at a more personal level. And I talked a lot about this, about leadership and how our actions are, influencing and impacting the people around them. And I even had a senior girl come up to me afterwards and talk to me about a senior trip that's coming up, and that she feels a lot of pressure, but that feels like, she's decided that she's not going to go on it because it doesn't feel like that's a safe place for her. So conversations like this really do matter. It gets them thinking, gets them asking for help, and starting at a young age, from the kids who are personally impacted by it, who go home to it every single day, to the ones that I feel like we overlook sometimes, who think that just because things on the outside look good doesn't mean that this can't become a problem for them as well. In fact, I'm also going on 4 school years in a row where I've walked into at least one high school that had a drunk driving death earlier in the school year. I do this all over the country, and in all 4 cases, it wasn't kids who had major problems with drugs or alcohol. It was your student athlete who went out and won a game one night and went out partying, and the parents allowed it to happen and thought, oh, I'm going to collect all the car keys, so nothing like this would ever happen. Well, kids sometimes have an extra set of car keys, and ended up being fatal. So, I just doing whatever I can with support from the schools and the district attorney to get ahead of this, because it's not it's not a parish problem, it's not a Louisiana problem, it is a national problem that's going on everywhere. So just grateful for the opportunity to be able to make an impact, and I'll turn it over to Mr. Oslett, but thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. I just want to say thank you. It's nice that y'all support through the DA is getting to kids. We say it all the time, save one child at a time. This whole program, I summarize it in one scenario. I had a young lady tell me, because of this, she is now clean for the first time in 5 years. And her path has changed, fixing to go to college, and has totally changed by $1, more importantly, by Mr. Hill. So that impact is happening, and we having to raise our bar because it's bringing a lot of awareness. Well, he gets on the plane and goes home. We still got work to do. We've got to get kids, families, resources, and all pulled together and keep working with the kids. So I really appreciate the partnership, and I thank y'all. And on behalf of Mr. Hall and the school board members, it's a great thing. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I do just want to let you guys know that Stephen will be doing a general assembly at Jennings High tomorrow for anybody that would be interested in attending that. That's on the police jury. You would obviously have to check in as a visitor. His presentation never gets old. And we do have him on a rotation coming back year after year to make sure that he's hitting all of those schools without really burning out the kids that have already seen his presentation. So in some schools, he's just doing those breakout sessions, which are very, very impactful. And then he's catching the grades that haven't seen the General Assembly. So we have him coming, and it has been so imperative that we do this, because this is all about prevention. If we can catch them early on, then we can keep them out of that criminal system. We can keep them on a path to success. And so I just want to thank you guys again, because this was such a passion project of mine, and you guys really trusted what that process looked like. And so I just wanted to make sure y'all heard it from the horses' mouths and knew that it's making a difference. We're seeing the difference, and so thank you again.
Thank you all. Appreciate it. All right. Next up, we're going to have Mr. Ron Granger is going to address us about the Lacassine Truck Stop Economic Development. Mr. Granger.
Good afternoon. My name is Ron Granger. I was here about 3 years ago. It doesn't seem like it. I work for the company that built the 2 truck stops, the one in Welch and the one in Lacassine. I'm here tonight to ask for some considerations having to do with the Lacassine truck stop. Back a couple of years ago, we were introduced to the programs where you could partner with the parish, economical development cooperative programs. We entered an agreement with the parish, And our stores, fast forwarding, our stores just opened up this last year. So at the time we started 2 years ago, the 2 truck stops, we had 2 stores starting at the same time in Lake Charles, 1 in Henderson. So we had 5 stores we were starting at that same time. So in the heat of battle, we overlooked a lot of the details with this cooperative agreement. In talking with Mr. Boudreau here this past week, there's some I's that were not dotted and some T's not crossed. The 3 parties, the parish, the water district, and our company had not actually signed the agreement. So he's taking care of revising that, but I'm here tonight to ask for some additional considerations. The agreement was for
$37.
$37,000, and it had to do with the water or lack of water at that site. So our company agreed to run the water line, and the agreement will get the repaid the $137,000 with this 2% EDD tax that's added to the taxes on every sale. But the problem is, at that time, in the heat of battle, with 5 stores going on, we gave little attention to the agreement. And we overlooked the fact that there was $31,000 of engineering fees. So I'd like to leave that with the parish tonight to do some thinking on that. We're full partners now. Hopefully you guys are gonna get a nice, significant addition to your bottom line for the parish with those 2 truck stops. In return, we're asking for some consideration for the engineering fee to be added or amended to the same agreement. And also, some or all of the costs for the sewer system we put in. So like I said, I'd just like to leave this with you to think about, Butch and the jury, and to see if we can maybe take a closer look at that engineering cost and amend the agreement where that 2% would just add to, we'd add that to the 2% recouping that amount of money.
Okay, one question. I know what a truck stop in the area,
Sir?
I know what a truck stop in the area brings in sales. What have y'all been remitting? Do you have an amount? I wasn't able to find it out before the meeting.
As far as the income?
Right,
Okay, Ben was asking me, I don't get involved. Our company builds these truck stops and we sell them. For example, the people that bought this truck stop in Lacassine, it's a pilot franchise, and we don't get involved in the finances. But the truck stops we're familiar with, they may bring in 200 plus or minus $1,000 a month inside sales, not counting gas. So you're looking at maybe a $200,000 figure plus the 2% of that the parish is going to get. Well, for example, in Welch, they'll get that 2% until their cost is recouped.
Right.
Lacassine, the parish had no money put into it.
okay.
So
All right.
about $200,000 a month.
All right, anything else?
Sir?
Anything else, Mr. Granger?
No, sir.
All right, well, we'll take it
We're
under
just asking for
consideration. We'll
consideration
visit,
from you guys.
and we'll get
We're
back with you.
partners now.
All right,
Thank you, guys.
thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
All right, next up, we're gonna have a discussion on the upcoming, need to rezone, make an exception for water tower in District Number 4. I don't know who's gonna speak for that.
I believe Jacob with Blue Wing.
Jacob?
Thanks, everyone. Alex Gilroy, Blue Wing Civil. Some of you may be aware that Water District 4, rural water district centered around the Hathaway area, we're working on developing a water system improvement project. It's going to be an elevated storage tower that's going to effectively double the finished water storage capacity for that system. And with the elevated tower, it's going to give much more resilient pressure performance for the customers. As part of this project, the lot upon which the board intends to erect this storage tower is currently zoned Agricultural 1. The use of an elevated storage tower is an accepted use on Agricultural 1 property, but it does require an approval of the jury and the zoning commission. I think I have those details right. So I'm here to just present and make myself available to you for any questions that y'all have. And we hope that that will be on your March zoning commission meeting for consideration and a vote.
What you want to move it to? No.
No, just an exception.
Do an exception, leave it as ag one.
It would stay agriculture. Yeah.
So you're gonna put an actual water tower?
Yes, elevated tower.
And y'all like that better than the booster station with the generators?
Yes, yes. We feel it's a more resilient pressure system. This board does have a scenario in the past where they lost power on their backup generator, so they lost pressure. And at least with half it, or 1 day's storage elevated, you'll have a whole day's water if everything goes down.
And where are y'all applying to get the money from?
That's capital outlay. It's
Capital
paying
outlay.
for 75% of it.
Okay.
And it's gonna double their capacity, right, Alex?
Double the capacity, double the finished storage capacity.
Anybody got any questions? All right.
All right, well,
Thank
thank
you,
y'all.
sir.
Thank you.
Just so everyone's aware, we have their application for the zoning exception, and we do plan to have that public hearing in our normal process at next month's meeting.
Okay, thank you. All right, next, I have a gentleman who wants to speak, Mr. Cody Newman. Cody Newman.
And just so we're clear, there's not going to be any action. I think this is just discussion about this issue today. And I'll keep time for you, Mr. Butch.
Okay, and we'll allow everybody 3 minutes because there's a bunch of y'all, so.
All right, Shannon Bertrand and I are here not to create new ordinances or any new laws. We're here for solutions for both sides of the fence. We're here to protect the farmer and give him the opportunity to keep using the cannons. We're here to protect the residents, to give them the opportunity to sleep at night. Issues, awareness, and solutions. Issue, mental health and fatigue. Staying up all night, listening to cannons blow 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, will cause health issues, mental issues, and fatigue. If we catch 0 crawfish from today for the rest of our lives, if we do not shoot a duck from today to the rest of our lives, how many fatalities would that create? 0. Mental health issues and fatigue will create fatalities. Awareness. The other day I was talking to a buddy of mine, he's a farmer, and he said there are no laws that can stop you from shooting a cannon. You cannot make us stop shooting a cannon. We are protected under the Law to Farm Act. Wrong. There are laws. It's called guidelines. Yes, they can make a farmer stop shooting a cannon. And yes, the right to Farm Act will not protect you if you are operating outside of the guidelines of the CAAP. Raise your hand if you know what that is. Any of you. Any of you back here farmers, do you know what the CAAP is? If you don't, you open yourself up for a lawsuit. All right. This is what we got. Potential penalties for noncompliance. If a farmer fails to follow these standards, example, 24/7 firing without geese present, they may be subjected to loss of immunity from the right to farm. Neighbors may successfully sue for nuisance under Louisiana Civil Code, Article 667, 669. Parishes may enforce local noise ordinances if the practice is deemed unreasonable or negligent. If you're operating outside the CAAP guidelines, that's going to be very easy to prove. Then I won't be here, but the farmers will be back fighting the ordinance. We don't need more ordinances.
30 seconds.
Stationary cannons must always be pointed away from a neighboring home and nearby livestock or pastures. I read on Facebook where a farmer was going to get the guy that was irritated and pointed the gun at him, the cannon. You're risking 2 things for your family. Who's to say that guy loses his mental health, grabs a gun and goes shoot you, your wife, your kids, your cats, and your dog? The CAA ruling says you cannot point it at neighboring homes.
Okay, that's time.
That guy can come in with the law and get a lawyer and take everything you have.
All right, sir, thank you.
Cannons
Thank you,
must be
sir.
used.
All right. We have to keep it going. We got meeting 3 minutes, and I kept the time, so the next person's gonna go.
Well, I thought it was 5 minutes.
That's three.
3.
Oh, shit.
Mr. Cody, can I get you to elaborate? What does CAAP mean? What's the words?
Generally accepted agricultural practices,
The GAAP?
GAAP.
Okay.
Is that about trains coming
You said CAAP.
Sir?
I didn't know what that meant.
What about trains coming by blowing horn 28 times a day?
Well, I mean, it says all the stipulations that the farmers have to follow in the guidelines of that to be protected by the right to farm law. And if you're out the guidelines, you open yourself up for a lawsuit.
Okay, just a couple quick questions for you before you sit down. So, how close are these guns to your house?
So I
Just
got,
about, I mean.
oh, my house, I
a
got
mile,
one about a mile and a half. I got one about a half a mile.
Half a mile?
And then I got some 3 miles here, a few miles there.
Okay. All right. Have you talked to the farmer? Have you sat down and visited with him?
I tried to get with him, but he never got back with me. My brother-in-law was willing to buy all the lights for him to cover his farm to prevent the guns from going off at night.
Okay.
We have enough evidence that we could have filed lawsuits on 4 farmers within 4 miles from my house. 4 of them. I could have took 4 farmers out, but that's not what we want to do.
And how long have you been out there, Cody?
38 years.
38 years. Was the
Been
farm
affiliated
there
with
when you
the farm
moved
for
there?
38 years. I've been living out there over 20.
And the farm was there when you moved there?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Family farm, my
Have you
stepdad.
had any mental problems?
Sir?
Have you had any
Mental problems? Let me tell you something. When you start walking around at night, verbally arguing with voices in your head, and all you hear is, and it's every day, and I go do a 15-hour day. I drive 210 miles a day gauging all wells. I drive through school zones. I drive through cities. My job consists of high-pressure gas and flammable hydrocarbons. One mess up, and I created an undesirable event that could cost a lot of money. But the thing is, I'm not here to stop the farmer. Because the ordinance and everything is in the CAAP guidelines. If these were followed, we would not be here today. And it hasn't. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, we got this offline, me and Shannon. And the thing about it is the farmer needs to educate himself with this, because if you're not in the guidelines, you will
Okay.
get sued and you will lose.
All right. Well, thank you. All right, Mr. Shannon Bertrand?
So I'm gonna start off by saying, I'm a 4th-generation farmer. I've been living on our home place. We've been there 75 years. We've crawfish. We still plant our own rice. I do work outside, as well. The issue at hand is, this was never this bad before. It's gotten totally out of hand. Last night alone, I'll start with last Wednesday night at my house. They were going off every 5 seconds. That's 720 shots an hour. That's not even, that's a war zone. We don't live anymore. We're just inside of a middle of a war zone. Yes, we are in the heaviest goose populated area. I get it. I crawfished all my life, never used one. 30% of the farmers around us don't use them. 30% do the right thing. And then 30% are what we're targeting now. It's an absentee farmer. He sets the gun up, he's running it 24 hours a day, and he's on vacation, he's traveling out of town. He lives 40 miles away. He's not impacted. Only he's worried about is his investment or his ability to make a living. Well, under the guidelines, the resident, the hunters, and the farmer all have equal rights. Where we're at right now, the only one that has any rights is the farmer. The residents aren't being held up to it because nobody has successfully done anything, and the hunters by far are not having any rights because what they're doing, there's at least 20 in my area surrounding me. Last night, I let my dogs out at 1:45 a.m. because I can't sleep at night because of the going off. In 5 minutes, there was 30 shots. There wasn't a goose in the sky, there was none calling, there was none moving. They're creating an acoustic effect across the entire country where we're at that nobody gets a break. The people don't get a break, the animals don't get a break, and that's not what it was designed for. In the GAAP guidelines, it says 100% that they were only being protected from 30 minutes before sunrise to 30 minutes after sunset. There is zero compliance, and they are 100% out of compliance at nighttime, because it says in there as well.
30
that
seconds.
Everybody has ability to have what's called a reasonable expectation. When you live in the country, you have a reasonable expectation of sleep. The birds have a reasonable expectation of roosting. They're no longer allowing that because they're absentee, and they're not going out there and checking to see if they have goose pressure. They're just setting the guns off constantly, all night long. It never stops. And like I said, last night, that was 360 times an hour, because 180 degrees of us, there was none going off, because when this got posted, some of them shut them off. Well, half of them didn't shut them off, so I still had 300 shots an hour going off around my house. You can't sit outside, and at night, it's worse because of the way things go. The more flooded fields they have around you, when it rains, it's worse because everything's echoing off of the ponds and
All
so
right,
on and
thank
so
you, sir.
forth.
Can I see what guidelines you're talking about?
Yeah, well, I mean, they're all over. They're here. You can
I
have
can't,
them
I've
if you
been.
want.
Everything I found is in Michigan and
Yeah,
Texas,
well,
and
these are all from, these are
I
all
don't see
Louisiana.
anything that says Louisiana.
This is all from Louisiana.
Where do you see GAAP?
It's under the GAAP standards, right there. It specifies Louisiana, Department of Agriculture, Louisiana Wildlife Fisheries.
But this is all from
Everything.
AI?
This is all from the internet. It's just law. It's just basic
Well,
understanding
I just Googled GAP, I'm not Googled.
Right, well, it
I just
depends
know
how
I did,
if you do it under the Louisiana
I did legal
Wildlife.
research just now.
Right, correct.
Did
Well,
not
if you
show it.
do under legal, under, wildlife, under Louisiana, because they, like I said, there is the law is under, Wildlife Fisheries and Louisiana Department of Agriculture. They wrote the guidelines because it says if they operate within daylight hours, they almost have total immunity.
Okay, we'll look into
There's
it.
just nothing at night, and that's what what the biggest offenders.
Sure.
Okay,
I'll look
Shannon.
into it. Thank you.
All right, Shannon. All right, I appreciate it. Is there more than one farmer? It sounds like there's several farmers, don't it?
Well, I'm in the, like I said, I'm in dead center. There's at least.
Is it the
just-
same
so-
guy?
So what happens is you'll have a radius of X miles from your house. And then you have a secondary band that's maybe say 3 miles. And then you have, it depends on the wind direction and the night conditions, you can have them up to 5 miles. And like I said, I'm probably surrounded by a dozen different ones. And I said, 30% of them crawfish hundreds to thousands of acres and don't use any. That's their right. 30% of them do the right thing. They run the geese out. They use them only when they're under pressure. It's the 30% that just set them and never turn them off. That's the ones that are running it for everybody. And it also says it's supposed to be single shot. Now they're multi-shots. They're shooting up to 5 times in a row, 4 to 5 seconds apart. So it's not just a boom. It's a boom, boom, boom. It sounds like somebody is in your driveway slamming doors all night long. You just don't get any rest. So, I know I gotta end, but so last week, I'm having issues. I lost all the vision in my left eye. It's stress-induced from lack of sleep because my head is not laying down long enough. Fluid is built up in the back of my eye because I'm in my chair till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning till I just physically can't take it anymore. And then I pass out for a few hours and then I'm back up again. So I have a mental, it's causing issues. Like I said, we've been there 75 years. People respected each other before, and they took care of things. There's no respect. Yes, some of the major offenders, they were texted, they were tried. Hey, just tone it down. There's no reason to run them if there's no geese out there. It falls upon deaf ears.
All
So
right.
according to the guidance, this is where we gotta go next.
All right, well, thank
The
you.
police.
I appreciate your time. All right, Mr. Chris Creelo?
gentlemen, I'm Chris Creelo from Roanoke. I've farmed rice, crawfish, and cattle for close to 50 years now. And I can tell y'all that the gun deal and the goose deal, it's not an issue until it's your issue. And I can tell you, a flock of geese can devastate a crawfish pond overnight. And I can tell you, there's a lot similarities between a cow and a crawfish. When you turn them out, you better have something for them to eat, or they're not going to grow. And so anyway, I live where we're at. We live a half a mile from the railroad. I also live a half a mile from a galvanizing plant. Especially tonight, it'll be loud tonight because the north wind, especially with the north wind. I can tell you to the minute what time every train passes. That's 12 months out the year, ladies and gentlemen. Then when the galvanizing plant is on their 24-hour shifts, they're not always, but they do have 24-hour shifts. I don't have to go outside to hear the clanging, and that's all night long. And you know, I'm not here to ridicule anybody for what they're trying to defend. I'm just telling you, we don't live off the grid. And Jeff Davis Parish, you all know how important a crop crawfish is to this parish. And so anyway, with spring coming up upon us, creates another issue. There's still about 30% of the rice in the parish is water planted. And so if there's some kind of ordinance or anything put against us for that, how are we gonna handle that? I mean, it's a whole lot different than it was 30, 40, 50 years ago. We're planting rice now, 20, 25 pounds of seed to the acre. I don't know how they do it, but them ducks can find every seed. And so anyway, you know, and per acre cost on an acre of seed now is upwards of $170 an acre for us to seed it.
How long does it take squirters to wipe that?
Oh, before you can get there.
When they come in?
Yeah, when they come in.
It's
That's
true,
right.
Mr. Creelo, they can eat.
30 seconds.
They can eat all your seeds in one night?
Yes. And they can also devastate your crawfish pond in one night.
In one night.
So anyway, and
How many acres do you farm, Mr. Creelo?
crawfish,
Or
well, I have about 700 acres of rice, about 400 acres of crawfish. I'll sell. So, and just what I'm asking is for the farmers, for Jeff Davis Parish, is
Time.
just for y'all not to put any restraints against us to stop them. I mean, this farming deal's tough enough right now, so, anyway. Well, thank y'all for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Chris. Thanks, Chris. All right, Mr. Luke Deweese. You want to talk? We'll skip Luke. Eric Creelo.
You got it?
I'm Eric Creelo from Welsh. Raised 800 acres of crawfish and 700 acres of rice, and we need to pop guns. I mean, I think you kind of have to have common sense, be neighborly, you know, don't point them towards houses. Use them with respect to your neighbors. I understand where everybody's coming from, you know, but we have to have them. There's no two ways about it. I can't stay up all night chasing geese out and work all day on, you know, doing my. Huh?
But we have to.
Yeah, I know, I'm just saying.
It's not fair for either.
Either
It's not
way,
an
no.
economic issue, it's not an emotional issue.
Yeah, I understand where y'all are coming
Let's
from,
go.
but
All right, go ahead, Mr. Creelo.
we wish we didn't have to raise crawfish. But that's where it is now. We're raising a rice crop for crawfish. In one night, a flock of geese can completely devastate your livelihood. You raise these crawfish, you stocked them, flooded up in September. January, it's time to start making a little money. The geese get in one night. protects your living. So we have to have the pop guns.
So how long do y'all run these guns for?
If the geese are in the area, we run them, you know, it's
Like 6 to 8 weeks, 10 weeks?
no. I mean, I don't know, personally, I'll run them whenever the geese are in the area. I just don't turn them on and walk away, you know, but if they're there and you turn them off, they're coming. And even if you stay up at night shooting with shotguns, it's the last man standing, you know, that's the one who they're not gonna get in. If you go to bed before this guy, they're coming to you. Yeah, so you got to have them on, you know, to protect your investment. So, thank y'all for y'all's time.
Thank you. All right. Next up, Joe Watkins.
Hello, Joe Watkins from Welch. I, along with my brothers Dustin and Philip, farm over 2,000 acres of rice and crawfish, and I'm for the guns, and we try to use them on a as-need basis. So anyway.
All right, thank you. And last of all, but not least, Adrian Augustine.
Hey, I'm Adrian Augustine. I farm a little over 1,000 acres, rice and crawfish. All I got to tell you what geese can do to a crop is, it's called crop failure. And you can't pay your bills when you have crop failure. So, you know, if you fall asleep like you were saying, and the geese go on you the next morning, it's too late. It's too late, depending on the numbers, you know. You got a big number of geese out there, it's over. The crop is over. And I run them, we got to have them, because once they find it, they're gonna come back, and they're gonna come back, and they're gonna come back. You can go put pop guns out there 3 or 4 nights, normally that would stop, but the first time you fall asleep and turn it off, you better get up about midnight and 3 o'clock in the morning and go check them. And I'm not good with no sleep, I'm getting old, I gotta have my sleep. So it would be devastating to us that we would not be able to run them.
Are these pop guns louder nowadays than they used to be?
No,
Are
it's
they
the same, but it's like I said with the railroad. I got a railroad by my house, and whenever the wind's right, and you can hear every wheel, you know, the springs, you hear the springs.
We've got 28 trains
Yeah.
in 24 hours.
Used to be one a day sometime, now it's unbelievable, the train traffic.
No middle problems there.
Hmm?
No middle problem.
All right, thank you, sir. Anybody else got any questions? Yours? Nobody?
I just have one thing to say, I'm not on the list. My name is Glenda Marso. I agree with these guys. I mean, they're in obviously maybe some medical issues with that. I feel sorry for them. But I farm 1,400 acres myself. I'm a multi-parish farmer. We all try to manage crawfish crop because we all know our rice crop. I'm sorry. We all know the rice crop is suffering these days. We're well below target prices. Crawfish is not the fix, but it's a addendum to the problem to help us get out of the problem. A lot of us here south of Highway 14 or from 90 south, we have a lot of duck hunters in our area. I work with my duck hunters as best as I can. I don't put the guns, but I make sure they're there to hunt them. When they're not, we put the guns. So I just wanted to reiterate what everybody's saying. I feel the pain. I'm sorry you guys I know exactly what Shannon did.
The main thing is to protect you guys. Everything I just heard is against the guidelines. You're gonna lose a lawsuit.
I'm gonna
That's
say,
what I'm trying to make a
I'm gonna say one thing. Our farmers,
All right,
That's the jerk. I'm gonna say one thing. Our farmer community in Jeff Davis Parish is strong. We could have avoided this agenda tonight if we would have just got together and talked, and maybe talked to your neighbor. We could have settled this out.
Well, we tried, it didn't happen.
I didn't get a notification, and I'm sorry for that, but we did not.
all right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Glenn.
Thank you.
Thank y'all. I'm gonna read a brief statement for whatever it's worth. So tonight, we received a complaint regarding the use of butane scare devices on a neighboring farm. I want to begin by acknowledging the residents' concerns and the impact that the noise can do and have on your daily life. At the same time, it's important for the police jury to follow state law, Louisiana law, and respect the rights that the legislation has established for agricultural operations. Under Louisiana's right to farm statute, agricultural operations that were established prior to the surrounding residential development and that follow generally accepted agriculture or traditional farm practices are protected from being declared a nuisance. In this case, the farming operation was in existence before the complainant moved into the area, and the use of bird scare devices is recognized as an accepted method of protecting crops from damage. Therefore, as a governing body, we cannot classify this established and lawful farming practice as a nuisance or take action that would infringe upon the farmer's protected rights. The law is clear that when a farm predates nearby development and operates according to the standard agriculture procedures, it must be allowed to continue normal operations. That said, we encourage good communication between the neighbors that y'all talk. While the farmer is within his legal rights to use these devices, we hope both parties can maintain a respectful dialogue to minimize conflict where possible. But from a legal and regulatory standpoint, this jury is obligated to uphold protection granted to established agriculture operations under Louisiana law. So that's enough for that. That's what I said. Nothing's going to be done on it at this time. We've heard everybody, so both sides. I really think y'all ought to get together. You know, that's the main thing. Yeah, and I understand y'all's point, and I understand the farmer's point.
The thing is, he and I have something in design right now, that's an IT guy, that will be better than the options today, and it will keep the fishermen in the guidelines of the GAAP. We're hoping to have it first month is June.
Did y'all find a citation today? Because I still don't find it.
I can get you everything.
Pardon me? All right, so y'all want to move on to the rest of the stuff?
Yes.
All right. All right, now we're going to go to the items for the meeting to be held on Wednesday, February 4th, 2026. I'm going to call a meeting to order. Number one, we're going to have the Finance Committee motion, report and motion to pay bills. Number two, we'll have a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting held on January 14th, 2025 as written and submitted. Everyone has a copy. Number three will be a motion to approve the minutes of the special meeting held on January 22nd, 2025. Should that be 26?
Yes.
26, as written and submitted. Everyone should have a copy. And this I will need to get approved tonight. Motion to approve a minor subdivision for Mr. Doxey. Moved by Mr. Byron Buller, second by Mr. David. All right, any discussion? Don't have any on it? Ben, you have anything on the Doxey?
It was given to me in an email, or the final revision. We went through several revisions today, so, I mean, I have a copy. Got a couple hours earlier, but it was, it was asked by Mr. Buller to approve tonight to expedite the people's permits have been held up by this subdivision.
So it's just a minor subdivision of property.
It was a subdivision that was, yeah.
I hate to see us do these things at the agenda meetings. We normally try not to, but where's this located? Because we don't have anything.
You're gonna speak in the mic, I can't hear you.
I can get a copy of everyone and we can push it to the end of the meeting for approval if you like.
Yeah, I think we need to have that information. I'm not against it, but I'm just,
Okay.
It's up if you would like.
Yeah, put it to the end.
What would be our problem? What else needs to be done?
The last plat that I reviewed 20 minutes before this meeting looked like everything that I'd asked them to correct had been corrected.
Okay. So Why can't we go ahead and vote? The old man needs to get his place set.
Yeah, I have no problem, but I would like to see it. I mean, we normally have the stuff in front of us to
Right.
be able to approve.
Be-
That's all my thing.
Benny checked it out and everything's been done.
I'll get y'all, I'll go get y'all, everyone a copy, and then,
Let's leave it for now and
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
All right, put it in,
at
and
the
then we'll
end.
get, okay, you got a copy? Okay. All right, so we'll skip that for a second. Number 5 is gonna be a motion to discuss and take action on moving the March agenda meeting to the Police Juror Association Conference.
So
Moved by Mr. Steve Eastman, second by Mr. David,
That's to move it to March 3rd,
March 3rd.
which is a Tuesday.
Anybody got any problems with March 3rd? A Tuesday, moving the meeting. Anybody?
Yeah, well, we'll just approve that at the regular
Okay.
meeting.
All right. Next one, number 6, motion to send a letter of of appreciation to the Cattlemen's Association. Number 7 will be ambulance committee report. Number 8 will be the jail committee report. And this will need to be approved tonight, and I'll have to probably talk slow so Ben can get back in here. Motion to approve change order number 1 in connection with the jail ceiling project, number 2024006, in the amount of $10,330, and the addition of 17 calendar days. And what it is at the jail, when they, Thomas, you might know some of it, you can probably back me up. When they opened up some of the walls, where the flashing met the top, they were gonna put that tape, that aluminum tape, and because of the way that it's corrugated at the top, they weren't scared it wasn't gonna seal, so they ran a bar across it and foam filled it with the, am I correct?
That's part of it, part of it.
And then, when they cut some of the walls on the outside, it left a jagged edge, it looked like, you know what, and so they got some extra pieces, sharp pieces, and they're gonna overlap it to make it look professional and then paint it. Am I correct, Alex?
That's it. I got a couple other things we found. There was a corner framing, so it'd be on the southeast corner of the Sally Port. There was no angle iron tying all of the purlins together. That was we thought, a critical structural element that needed to be added in. So that's part of the change order. Butch talked about some R paneling. We asked the contractor for a cost to paint these panels. When they're taking them down, they're getting scratched up. It's just part of the process. And Ben, I thought, had a good idea. Let's paint everything to match the existing color. It's going to give a good, nice finish once everything is back up and in place. Because we're not putting up new panel siding. We're taking it down, storing it, and then replacing it when the remediation is complete.
It's all done.
We found one of the columns in the Sally Port was not reinforced and then fully grouted per the original plan, so we asked the contractor to remediate that. We found some joints, for lack of a better term, where some of the framing butts up against the CMU block. We found some areas where there's not properly sealed, so we're going to seal those areas and pull out the spots that Thomas made a good attempt to mitigate it over the years, and put a proper backer rod in there, and then cover that backer rod with a silicone sealant. And the contractor has asked for some additional days because they did have to pause work when they uncovered these issues, and we had to design some remediation for them. So we had them on hold while we figured out how we were going to address this. So that's it.
But all of that incorporates the $10,330?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So just to add to what Alex said, I think they did a good faith effort to avoid these situations, but these were just things that were unforeseen that could just no way to know in advance. Some of these things could be addressed later in the project, in a later change order, but just it's an expedited project to try to get the jail closed back up, so they try to put it all together in one change order. So.
All right, well, as a new president, I got ahead of myself. I went straight to the discussion. I need a motion to approve the change order in connection with jail ceiling project number 2024006 in the amount of $10,330 and the addition of 17 calendar days.
So move.
Moved by Mr. LeBeau, second by
Second.
Corey. All right, I guess there's no more discussion. All right, sorry about that, guys. All right, let that go through. That's approved. Number 10, motion
You
to.
gotta vote.
I thought we voted. No?
No.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, sorry about that, guys. Motion to authorize the administrator to approve change orders in connection with the jail ceiling project number 2024006, not to exceed $10,330.
So move.
So moved by Mr. McKnight, second by Marcus Peterson. All in favor?
Well, hang
Wait,
on, hold on.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that was the
So,
intent.
so that this is an agenda item for next meeting, and
I rescind my
All right.
motion.
right.
Hell, the guys on there to prove tonight.
No, that's
No,
number
that's the
nine.
next one, number 10.
Not
Okay.
10. We're on 10.
All right, that'll be on next week's agenda then. All right.
Yeah, so wait, but
This will be an item to allow y'all to, in case, because it's an expedited project and the building of the jail is kind of exposed to weather and elements protected by the Sally Port. But we'd want to kind of timely approve another change order that would come up in the project. So are we asking the police jury to approve some amount or percent or
Little
something
buffer.
like that?
yeah, I would say a
Okay.
percentage, come back with a percentage.
Okay. All right, we can discuss that next week. So number 11 will be motion to adopt a resolution to appoint Dodie Ritchie as the Secretary Treasurer and Executive Director of Section 8 for the Jeff Davis Parish Police Bureau. All right, and that is it for now. Oh, yeah. I don't really have anything for the President's report.
No, this is still
What-
agenda, so this is all that's gonna be on the agenda.
Oh, I still gotta read it, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
So we're gonna have the President's report next week, the Administrator's report, Engineer's report, and the Committee report. Items for information, everyone has a copy of the weekly rig count for Jeff Davis Parish for January and February 2026. And,
Mr. President, did y'all take action on the
We need to-
subdivision?
all right, we'll go back to number 4 now. Motion to approve the minor subdivision for Mr. Doxey tonight. Okay, motion by Mr. Buller, one second by Mr. LeBeau.
Is
Any
it tract
discussion?
number G2 that we're approving?
What?
Is it tract G2?
I think it's
G1
G1
and
and.
G1 and G2.
Yeah.
G1 and 2, okay.
What, I mean, they're just
It's all
subdividing
done.
for family or?
Yeah, this was actually lotted out in 2006, but that particular plat did not follow the subdivision guidelines to include the right-of-way for the road and drainage easements. So it's more of a formality. It was kind of already lotted up, and it's just trying to follow our current ordinance, so.
Yeah, and Byron, we take care of that village cemetery road?
Do what?
We take care of that village cemetery road?
Steve, is all set up wrong. As after reader, people just moving in, to have a place to get them. And, Don Davis told them to go with the police bureau. I heard him at a supper talking about, just telling him, he thought he had that right, you know, and yet, it become, they had no servitudes. That's why we never took the roads in that subdivision. They gotta maintain their own.
All right, any other discussion on it?
So, but is
Short answer, no.
Village Cemetery Road, is that a parish road then?
Yeah, that is, but where that is below it. It's another road coming into it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, look at that corner, I mean, is that right? That corner cuts into our curve.
Can we maintain that road?
Is a 10 spot the road, Bob?
Yeah, it is.
It looks like it curves going back, I'm assuming north now.
Yeah, I guess.
Is that all?
I'm telling you what, we'll never straighten that place up. We ain't gonna set it up.
Right.
We ain't gonna do it. And people been living on it. This old man in bad shape, he's moving next to it.
I think Steve's question is it a parish road is what Steve's question
No,
is.
well, the face is right here, it's not, the village cemetery, yes. But-
Village Cemetery is a parish road, I'm
Is-
just
yeah.
unsure where this is at.
Right.
Look like it's in a
You see,
curve.
below it, it don't show it, they got another road. On the south of it, they got another road, and that's how they go in.
Yeah, but see what I'm saying though, Barn, where that, how that
See it curves
pink
here.
line or brown line, whatever that is, it cuts right across that curve of Village Cemetery Road.
Right, I see what you're talking about.
I mean, I don't have a problem with the subdivision, but I'm just,
It's
you know.
not really a subdivision.
Well, no, but
Yeah,
but it
it's
is, it's subdividing the
Right.
property. I don't have a problem with subdividing the property, but, man, we do this, and then somebody's gonna come up here and say, hey, y'all are cutting across my property with your road. Am I wrong?
Well, your property's
It's
across
been
there.
that way, Steve. The road was there before they ever put these lots.
So this is the plat from 2006, and that right-of-way follows the same right-of-way in this 2006 plat.
Our right of way's been across that property for even 60 years.
All right,
That's good.
All right,
as long as Lance, you're good with that?
I haven't been sent anything to review yet.
all right, any other discussion? All right, all in favor? Opposed? All right, anything else, Mr. Woods? Mr. Marcus Peterson?
Yes, Mr. President, to pass it on to everybody, as you were aware, this past week, we did the, shelter for the warming center, in the parish. Just to pass out to everybody that put, these organizations that assisted with food and what have you, to send a letter of thank you to all of them. Even though we didn't get to the numbers that we had last year, we still had people that we got out of the weather. The only thing I'm gonna ask is the, parish director of the OSEP office, just to ask the chairman of the OEP committee to meet, later on this month, so we need to develop a plan. If we're gonna, do these warming shelters or cooling shelters, we need to set a plan in place in our all hazard as an addendum to that thing, so we don't, we can have more organization of, what we need to do, because, you know, we could have gotten more, but I will say this again, and I've said it before, things have changed. The climate has changed and it's shifting hard. If you see, this is the second year in a row that we have had to open a warming shelter. We've been very fortunate without the cooling shelter, but this is the second year in a row. So we need to look at it more in depth. If we, as a jury, like we just did recently, we need to develop a plan, and have more, a little bit better organized. We did it, we got it done, but, you know, yeah, we got it done, okay?
Need to make some guidelines.
Fortunately, we had a lot of people that can't help. We give an exceptional pat on the back to Marcus, because he came back and he got us, I'll tell you, he did the installation of the washer and dryer in the exhibit hall, I called it, next door. So people did take advantage. We had a lot of stuff was donated, and you know, we just need to develop a plan. We need to meet to discuss and set a plan, and we're gonna operate as the police jury.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree, and I want to thank you, Tim, Wayne, y'all did a heck of a job, Ben, everybody that helped y'all.
Yes.
A lot of us are out of town, and I appreciate all the charities that donated. City of Jennings helped, the sheriff helped. I got a list of them: Boudin King, Our Savior's Church, First Baptist Church, Raymond Methodist Church, Greens Cafe, Chris Angel, McDonald's, Our Lady of Perpetual Help, Carolyn Barker, Vicky Rushing, Rochelle Sitting, Carmack Specialty Meats, and Cody Bro, and I'm sure there was some other people that I missed, but everybody did a heck of a job. I was out of town, and a lot of us were, but y'all did a heck of a job with the resources y'all had, and we appreciate it, definitely.
Yeah, good job, Marcus. Only thing I would say is, you know, we had those volunteers that came for the last one. Let's get back with them, do a roundtable, and get them involved. And
Which I'm gonna again put it back out to the police jury members. I'm gonna beg you to go back to your church and put it out that we are looking to establish an in-house, in-parish volunteer group to do stuff like this. Okay, if this was something bigger, on a massive scale, when we activate our office, we can reach to the state, but when we need stuff like this here. And the other thing I stress to people, Red Cross did come in, they did their normal thing, they gave us the sheets, they gave us the snacks. But, I don't wanna take too much time, but if you realize this cold affected the northern part of this state, I think there was a total of 11 parishes that was hit. All 11 parishes were receiving help from Red Cross. Just throw that out there and think about that when we're sitting out here, you know. But again, we need to get together, just create a plan.
Absolutely, yeah.
We lucky we didn't lose electricity, that place was fueled up.
Yep. Thank you, Marcus. Corey, anything else?
No, sir, General.
Mr. McKnight?
Two things, OEP meeting on the 25th at 5 PM, is that okay?
Yes.
All right. And second, reference to the truck stop things in Lacassine.
In
I'd like
reference
to
to what?
add it to the truck stop things in Lacassine that,
Okay.
I forgot the man's name.
Granger.
Ron
Mr.
Granger?
Mr. Granger brought up. I'd like to add a discussion and maybe approve to amend the Lacassine Cooperative Endeavor to include the engineering cost and sewer system costs, bringing it from $137,105 to $225,885. According to his estimates, they bring in about $4,000
Yeah,
a
it
month.
should float it.
So it's coming back. So I think we should do
Yeah,
a good faith effort to let people know that we're willing to work with you with these economic development.
yeah, I would agree with that. Over 10 years, it's gonna be about $1,800 a month, and he's gonna draw more than that in tax revenue.
Yeah, so it's constant.
$4,000 sales a month?
No. He's got 200,000 sales a month.
So,
4,000 of that is coming back to us at 2%. Yes, sir.
yeah, so basically though, they've been getting, we've been collecting about $3,400 to $3,600 a month is what I've been
Yeah,
seeing.
I was just
so.
rough estimating about what his rough estimate
Right.
was.
Probably should go with the
Ben, you have that information, if you can get that.
We don't have
Yeah.
exact
Just to be
information.
clear, we intentionally excluded, they might have made a mistake when they reviewed
Yeah.
it, but we were intentional and did not make a mistake. We did not want to pay that when we made the original agreement. So honestly, I don't even know if we could do this, to be honest with you. We're essentially giving up public money for free, for nothing. We're not getting anything in
Or
return.
we're getting it back,
We're not getting
When we
any,
established it, we said we
but
were.
they're gonna front the money.
no, they've already done it.
They've already done it.
So we're just giving them money.
Asking for reimbursement with it.
Right.
I think we
2%.
just need to discuss it.
Yeah, all right, we'll put it on the agenda for next week. Thank
You
you,
know,
Tim.
one thing I'm gonna tell you, and when he was here talking, I thought about this. Well, go ahead, and I'll bring it up when you get to me.
All right.
Go.
Anything else, Mr. Tim?
All right.
Mr. Melvin Adams? Mr. Bill LeBeau? Mr. Byron Buller? Mr. David Adjourn? Wayne Frugier?
Yes, I just got a couple of things to say. I'm just gonna reemphasize what Marcus said. It was a hectic week. I wanna personally thank Marcus Lemoyne. He and I stayed in contact every day. We met up there usually every morning at 7. Went over our stuff, see what we had food lined up. I'm gonna tell you, this parish is outstanding. People came through, contacted me. I kinda took over the food deal. And Marcus was just phenomenal. I'm gonna let y'all all know. Marcus is straight up good dude.
Good.
I mean, he cared for things, made sure
Glad to
we had all the stuff in line and checked, and did a phenomenal job, you know. Second of all, our security was outstanding. We had a few issues here and there. We
Y'all
ironed
will.
them out.
Yeah.
We handled them professionally. Ms. Connie Sarvis, I don't know if y'all know, most of y'all know her. She worked 12-hour shifts every weekday, 4 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon. Cooked these people breakfast, served them, catered to them, did a wonderful job. Helped me line up the food. Our churches, individuals, they come out of the blue. You know, OSC, they contacted me every day to make sure.
That's good.
They did Walmart grocery orders. We had it all in check. Believe me, it went smooth. A lot of work, but it was well worth it. So,
Yeah,
Wayne, there was about 6 to 10 people a day, roughly?
Yes, yeah, we averaged, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the first night we ended up with 4, and then 6, then 8 or 9, and then it went back down to 6. And we were open so many nights, I can't remember
Yeah.
exactly. Our best night, I think, was 10, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that's what we have already said. So we maxed out at 10.
Yeah.
So,
We didn't have as many, because we had 18 for the last time, the snow deal,
Good.
but it was good, you know. People were very supportive. We got a great parish. We
Oh,
don't
definitely.
realize how great this parish is till they're in need, so.
Oh, yeah.
People who are
I
ready
want
to
to
give
personally
all the
thank them,
time.
so that's all I got.
Mr. Eastman?
All right, so two things. One, because of the shelter, there was a couple of reports that I saw that had different names for our shelter, and it got me thinking, I would like to kind of tweak the name of the shelter, of the building. You know, right now it's the William E. Broussard Multipurpose Building. I'd rather us change it to the William E. Broussard Event Center. So I'd like to put that on the agenda. And then the other thing, because, you know, unless I'm missing it on the committees, we need some kind of an economic development district committee, because we've got those 2 districts that we need to do some tweaking on them.
Right.
And that would be a good thing to bring to that committee to discuss it in a committee setting and then come back with a proposal. But
Right.
Lance is right. We specifically left that out there.
Okay. So if you'll put that on the agenda for me to make a committee with that. Thank you, Steve.
All right,
Anything else?
thanks. That's it.
All right, I need a motion to adjourn then. Mr. Woods? Second.